Howdy everyone, welcome to the Ultimate Survival Guide for Minecraft 1.10. In this video, I'm going to be showing you all of the relevant survival changes to the game, and I've actually split up the video into multiple sections for your convenience. So the first section is going to be all about the new blocks and their mechanics. Second section will be about the new mobs, where they're found and how they spawn. Third section will be about the new terrain generation, including village generation. And the fourth section will be miscellaneous changes in the updates. By the way, I just want to mention I also do have previous update videos, the Ultimate Survival Guide for Minecraft 1.8 and Minecraft 1.9, so if you've been out of Minecraft for a while, I'd recommend giving those videos a try. But go ahead and click on your relevant section now, or just wait, and we'll go ahead and get started with the Ultimate Survival Guide to Minecraft 1.10. So the first thing we're going to take a look at today are the new blocks. So one of the new blocks is the Magma Block. This spawns naturally in the Nether, as you can see right here. So there's a bunch of it usually in the Nether, and you can also craft this up using some magma cream. So if we put some magma cream in the crafting table just like that, that is how you craft up the magma blocks. Now if you step on these magma blocks, you'll see you take damage, and I'm just continually taking damage here as I keep on standing on the block. But if I go ahead and shift, so I'm shifting now, I actually don't take any damage, and the same thing happens if you put on some Frostwalker boots. You can then easily walk on the magma block without taking any damage. Now, the Magma Block also has some other unique properties, so let's take a look at those. So, some of the unique properties of Magma Blocks. The first one is that if you place water source blocks above the Magma Blocks, the Magma Blocks will eventually delete the water source blocks placed on top of them. So, we should see that here after a brief amount of time. It's sort of like the Magma Block is evaporating the water block, and yeah, you saw it right there. This water source block has been deleted by this Magma Block. And if we leave it for long enough, all these water sources will be deleted. Also, just like players do, mobs do indeed take damage on the Magma Block, as you can see here. But that doesn't apply to Nether mobs, so Nether mobs do not take damage on the Magma Block. It's also quite useful to know that Magma Blocks preserve light level. So right now you can see if I hit F3 that this block has a light level of 2. But if I place a torch nearby, you'll see that even if I get rid of the torch, the Magma Block has now become lighter, so it now has a light level of 10, and I can increase that further just by moving the light source in further. So right here it'll reach its maximum light level, so it's a light level of 12 now, and it'll never go darker than this unless you break it or move it. It's also worth noting that mobs will actually path around Magma Blocks and attempt to get to a player or villager without crossing them. There are two new unique death messages with these Magma Blocks. One of them is that you discovered the floor was lava. And the other one is you walked into danger zone due to whatever killed you. The next block we're taking a look at is the Bone Block. So it looks like this, and you can place this in 3 different orientations depending on how you want it to look. And to craft the Bone Block, just go ahead and take your bone meal, put it in a crafting table like that, and there you go, you've crafted up your bone block. You can also craft this from the bone block form back into bone meal, just like that. And these bone blocks, they do generate naturally underground in deserts, and they take the shape of fossils. So I have one such fossil right down here. Normally this would be totally encased in stone, but I went ahead and dug this out so you can see what one of them looks like. There are a lot of different configurations with this, including some which have the bone blocks replaced with coal blocks, and you can see some of those in the image right here. Next up, we have the Netherwart Block. Looks like this. This thing does not generate naturally anywhere in the Minecraft world, but you can craft it with 9 Netherwart in a crafting table like that, and that gets you your Netherwart Block. However, you can't take the block and craft it back into Netherwart, so once it's in the block form, it'll stay in the block form. The final new block for Minecraft 1.10 is Red Nether Brick. Looks like this, and this is also not naturally generating. You can only craft this with Netherwart, like so, and Nether Brick like that, and that gets you your red Nether Brick. We also have some new mobs in Minecraft 1.10, and one of the new mobs is the Zombie Husk. So these guys have an 80% chance to spawn in deserts whenever there is sky access for the block they spawn on, and the spawn is going to be a zombie. So you'll find the majority of zombies in deserts are now husks. And some of the unique things about this mob, if we go ahead and change it today, you'll see that the zombie husks actually do not burn during the day, while most other mobs like skeletons and normal zombies will. And it's also worth noting that if one of these husks happens to hit you, you can see here that it actually gave me hunger for a brief time, and the amount of hunger you get depends on your difficulty. Another new mob for Minecraft 1.10 is the Stray. Looks like a skeleton in raggy clothing. And the Strays also have an 80% chance to spawn, but in ice biomes. And they also are a little bit different from skeletons. If I go ahead and switch to game mode 0 here, you will see they actually shoot slowness arrows. So there we go, you got slowness. And if you kill one of these strays, they do indeed drop slowness arrows, as you can see right here. We also have polar bears in this update, as you can see right here. So polar bears are found in cold biomes. There's the adult version, and then right down here we have the cub right there. Now the polar bears are typically neutral unless there is a cub nearby. So if I go ahead and switch to game mode 0, survival game mode, you'll see this guy becomes very aggressive, and yeah, you can see how they attack. They attack by sort of rearing up against you, and yeah, they will sort of pursue you for a distance. They do have trouble still going over 1 block high gaps, but they do drop items when they're killed. So if I just kill this guy here, he does have a lot of health. If I kill this guy, he drops fish, and they can also sometimes drop salmon. There are also some changes to the Nether this update. One of those changes is that Endermen can now spawn there, and the Enderman can also now pick up Netherrack. Magma cubes are twice as common as they were in the Nether before, and this is presumably due to the fact that they can be killed for their magma cream, which can then be crafted into the new magma blocks. Another interesting change in Minecraft 1.10 is that mobs can now shoot at you from boats, so beware of skeletons or blaze that happen to get into a boat, because now they will shoot at you. Also in 1.10, the chances that a mob will light you on fire if they themselves are on fire is now determined by the difficulty. So now I was on easy, the zombie did not set me on fire. If I change it to hard now and run into the zombie, he sets me on fire almost every time. Moving on now, we have some new terrain generation. So as I said previously, we have the new magma block here. The magma blocks now generate naturally in the Nether, and they will always spawn close to the same level as the lava oceans. In fact, they're always going to be below y equals 37 in the Nether, so you'll never find them like on the Nether roof. They're all going to be close to the lava oceans near the bottom. World generation in deserts has also changed in that you can now sometimes occasionally find fossils underground in desert biomes, and the fossils themselves are made out of these bone blocks and occasionally out of coal ore. Huge mushrooms, such as this giant brown mushroom here, have the chance now to grow twice as high. And let me just show you here, it is possible for the player to grow some of these giant mushrooms as well. Let me just see if I can get one to grow here. So these are all pretty normal size, And that one's a little bit taller, but we want to see if we can get a huge one here. There we go. There's one of the huge ones. So you can grow the giant mushrooms yourself, just sort of random when it happens. Plains biomes will now generate with a few oak trees scattered throughout, like these here. Paths and villages will now be made out of path blocks if there otherwise would be grass where the village generates. Abandoned mineshafts can now be found in mesa biomes, as you can see here. Now, these abandoned mineshafts are made out of dark oak planks and dark oak fence, and they generate slightly differently from the normal mineshafts because they are actually on the surface. For instance, if there is sunlight that can hit the block where normally a mineshaft would generate, then there's going to be fewer wood pieces. So, for instance, right here, you can see we have sky axis on this block, and the wood sort of cuts off here, whereas normally it would, continue on like this. Same thing down below here, you see it cuts off right here. And also there won't be any cave spider spawners generated where sunlight hits. There can be cave spider spawners, if for instance it was going to plan to spawn a cave spider spawner there, it would still do so because there's no sunlight there. And also in these mesa biomes, you can find gold now above the traditional gold level. So for instance down here there is a gold vein, so gold is now much easier to find in mesas than it was before. Villages in taiga and savanna biomes will now use the appropriate style of wood nearby their village to make their houses. So for instance here we have spruce wood stairs, spruce wood fence, and spruce wood logs that make up this village, which is in a taiga biome. And also this is a good example of a village which doesn't care if it crosses a biome boundary. So for instance right here we are in a taiga biome, a normal taiga biome, but up here we are in a taiga mountain biome, and as you can see the village just generated right across this. So villages can now generate across biome boundaries. Village paths will now cross bodies of water, and they use planks. Right here we have the acacia wood planks instead of the normal path block. And also, surrounding the wells, instead of gravel now, we have cobblestone. In addition to the normal villages, there is also a 2% chance now for a village to generate as a zombie village. These villages generate without any torches, without any doors, as you can see here, and all the residents are actually zombie villagers. You can see one of them burning here. These villagers actually do not despawn as long as they don't, leave their houses and burn in sunlight. But yeah, kind of a cool thing that there are now actual zombie villages rarely spawning in Minecraft. Sandstone will now no longer replace the sand over the entrance to caves. One of the biggest gameplay changes to Minecraft 1.10 is the ability to auto-jump. So simply walk straight at a block where you normally have to jump, and the game will now do it for you, assuming you have auto-jump enabled. So that can be quite a useful feature, and you can also turn this off if you don't like it under Options, Controls, and right here you just turn that off, and now you can just go back to how it was before. For all you technical players out there, there is a new debug menu option, which is very, very useful, and that is the F3 plus G option to show chunk boundaries. So if I go ahead and hit F3 plus G, you can see it sort of outlines the chunk directly around me. And if I go ahead and walk into the next chunk, it'll move with me so that I can determine where the chunk boundaries are. So a very, very useful thing there. There are also a bunch of new sounds added, the most prominent of which are the sounds for the enchantment table when you enchant something. And also the ender chest when you open and close it. For all you fireworks fans out there, I got some good news. In Minecraft 1.10, the firework recipe has been made significantly cheaper, so you now get 3 firework rockets per craft instead of just 1. Blocks that will fall when updated, such as these sand blocks here, will now have particles emanating from the underside of the block. You can now shift-click a shield directly into your offhand, and you can also use a dispenser to equip a shield in your offhand as well. Ice Plains biomes now have a lower chance to spawn passive mobs, so if you're starting out here, I would recommend moving to a new area. You can now use chorus fruit or ender pearls to teleport from any minecart, boat, or other rideable entity, including horses. Players can use fishing rods now to pull items to themselves. So those are all the survival changes in Minecraft 1.10. If you enjoyed the video, please do leave a like, and also consider subscribing as I have a lot of other great Minecraft content on my channel. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching. This has been Cub. Goodbye.